Hey, welcome to How to Get Customers Beating a Path to Your Door on Autopilot without putting more on your plate. If you're like I've always been running my bars and restaurants, I am swamped, wearing way too many hats, trying to figure out how I'm going to get the 100 things on my to-do list done today. The last thing I need is one more thing to be responsible for, one more thing that I know that I have to get done. And if that's you, if you're running around all the time doing way too much, this webinar is for you. This will help you figure out how to take a huge section of the things that are really your responsibility as the business owner off of your plate, but make sure that the critical things that need to get done are getting done automatically for your business. I'm also going to show you my weird secret that had us turning folks away at the door so the fire marshal wouldn't shut us down. Actually happened 3 times in 1 week. The fire marshal was at the front bar telling us to get people out of there or he was going to have to shut us down. And how you can ethically knock off in less than 10 minutes to fill your restaurant and bar every night too. Is that something you'd like to do? Would you, not that we want the fire marshal coming to threaten to shut us down, but would you like to have so many people in your bar every night of the week or in your restaurant every night of the week that you have a line outside the door and you're turning people away? Would that help your profitability and your bottom line? I know it sure made all the difference in the world in our business. As we get started, I want to make a quick earnings disclaimer. I can guarantee that you're not going to get 10,000 customers the first day lining up at your door. Our system's incredible and I'm really, really proud of it. But even if you could get 10,000 new people lining up at your door, would you even want them? What would happen? Most of the people I know and most businesses would be shut down because there's no way they could handle that many people. At first, as I started exploring this and wanting to get customers coming to us, coming to our business without me having to go out and find and beg and borrow and steal customers from other places, I just wanted to start getting some new customers coming to us on autopilot, getting them to come automatically to our business so that I didn't feel like I was always chasing them in various media and trying to do all kinds of tricks and things to get them to come to my business. I figured if I could get just 10 new customers a day, that would be 300 new people a month. Now, almost any business could thrive on 300 new people a month. We now have 17 businesses, each adding between 10 and 344 customers per day. That is a lot of customers to be adding to your business. How would that impact your business? If you had, say, even only 100 or 10 new customers coming to your business a day, would that make a positive impact on your sales and profitability? Thomas was one of our first businesses to test Customers Catcher for his restaurant. In just 7 months, our worst performing restaurant became the most profitable. What started as a test has been rolled out in all our locations and put our expansion plans on steroids. Thomas. So now, as we're getting started again, let me ask you a question and actually get your commitment and ask you a favor for something. The things I'm going to show you on this short little web class or webinar are really, really powerful. And these things can be put to work in your business for your profitability and your success, but they can also be used against the competition and they can be used for evil. And I don't feel okay about that. I need to get your commitment. And I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're wanting to use them to make your business better, not to hurt anybody else. But if a couple of you could comment in the comments box and commit to me that you'll only use this information for the betterment of your business and not to harm anyone else's, that would just ease my conscience and make me feel so much better. So we'll just wait a couple of seconds for a few of you to comment. I'll sneak a drink of my water, and as soon as I get a few comments, I will go ahead and move forward. Kevin, we're going to have to talk about that. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Michelle. All right, you guys, it sounds like we're all on the same page about the good and evil thing. So who is this for? Obviously, if you have a bar or a restaurant business already, then this is for you. If you don't have a bar or a restaurant business yet, guess what? This is for you too, because you can make sure that you set up your bar, your restaurant, your business for success in this area from the get-go. And the real secret is, if you have any type of business or if you want to have one, this will work for you. I guarantee this will make your business more profitable and more successful if you apply it and put it to work in your business. So what the heck is a customer catcher, and do I really need one for my company? Probably asking yourself that. Well, as you look at these two pictures, the pictures of each of these girls, the pretty girl on the left in the red tank top and the more interesting girl on the right with the heart-shaped lollipop and the funny glasses, which one do you think attracted more of the type of attention she wanted in high school? The girl on the left or the girl on the right? Well, I don't know what your high school was like, but mine, although it's been quite a few years now, the girl on the left was definitely the one that attracted the positive attention, the attention she wanted, the attention from guys who wanted to date her and girls who wanted to be like her or be her friend. The girl on the right attracted attention, but it wasn't necessarily the type of attention that she always would want to attract. So to me, as I'm thinking about what I'm sharing today for your business, do you want to be like the girl on the left or do you want to be like the girl on the right? Well, I wanted customers coming to me. I wanted my ideal perfect customers being attracted to me, meaning attracted to my business. So I wanted to be more like the girl on the left. And I'm suspecting that you want that too. So do you want to make money? Do you want folks lining up at your business ready to spend money? If you do, you're in the right place. My goal for this web class is to show you that the only way for you to exponentially grow your restaurant and bar business is through handling your customers on autopilot. And the only way to automate your customer handling is through something that we have called Customer's Catcher. Now, for those of you that stay to the end, just for staying to the end, I am going to give you a link to something called the Blue Plate Special. Kind of fits with restaurants, right? And I don't know if bars, but I guess it'd be the happy hour special or specialty drink of your establishment. But the Blue Plate Special is something that I guarantee can and will help your business to be more profitable. But you gotta wait till the end to see it. I'm not gonna share the link or share what it is exactly until the end. Yes, I'm bribing you to stay to the end, but I also know how powerful it can be for your business. So I want you to stay and I want you to spend a few minutes with me and hear what I have to say and hear what I've learned over the last 37 years. So do yourself a favor, pay attention, shut the door, put your phone in the other room, give multitasking a rest. I think I am the queen of multitasking, but really that just means I do a whole lot of things simultaneously and all of them are pretty much half-ass. So if I really want to master something or do a good job at something, I, like everybody else, have to focus on it. I think you owe it to yourself to pay attention to this, and you owe it to the people that you love and care about and the people that work in your business to pay attention and get as much as you can out of this free training and webinar. So stop what you're doing, pay attention, grab a pen and paper. I don't know about you, but I'm a huge note taker, so I always have a pen and paper handy. So who the heck am I and why should you listen to me? Again, my name is Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. I've been the key player in 7 different restaurant groups, either as the full owner or part owner, everything from a pizza place to a fine dining Italian place, sports bar, steakhouse, resort, malt shop, comedy club, nightclub, and counting. I'm always dipping my toe in different types of hospitality businesses because I find them fun and exciting and fascinating. I'm on a team creating a mobile app that is geared toward users, but the primary people that will benefit from that are people just like you, people that own bars and restaurants. I've worked in various industries in the food chain, anywhere from suppliers to manufacturers to service providers, everything, everywhere along the food chain. And I've performed as an owner, but also as an employee in corporate America, just about every task imaginable in a bar or restaurant. From remodeling to taking out the trash to cleaning the bathrooms, you name it, I've done it. Hiring, firing, financial, everything. I've had to learn how to and do everything. And my reason for that is twofold. One, I come from a engineering quality management processes background. And to me, the way that we're always continually improving all of our processes and procedures and everything we do. When we figure out how to do something, we want to systematize and make that the process or the way we do it, just from a consistency of quality and outputs and costs and profitability standpoint. We want to create processes and systems that make us more efficient. Well, the only way to really understand the process is to get your feet wet, dig in, do those tasks, and understand what parts of a particular process are important and what parts can be cut out to save time and money. So I like to get my hands wet. And then my other thing is, I don't believe in asking anybody I work with or anybody who works for me in one of my businesses to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. If I'm not willing to do it, I sure as heck shouldn't expect anybody else to do it. And that's just my personal beliefs about human beings, that we're all created equal and we all deserve dignity and respect, and yada, yada, yada. I've had incredible coaches over the years, and like over 40 years. I've been involved in business since my first business was when I was 13. It was an ice business, but I've been involved in a really diverse array of businesses and in different industries. And I believe that that gives me a really unique perspective in the way that I look at different situations and different businesses and can pull what works best from different industries together and put it to work in whatever business I happen to be working on or working with. I have made and saved companies, including my own, tens of millions of dollars. And I think if I were to stop and really add it up again, it's probably closer to $100 million over all the years that I've been involved in business, and much, much more. This is just some shots of me and my family and people I love and care about and friends and different opportunities I've been able to participate in since having my own businesses. I want to tell you a little bit about why I'm sharing this and why and how I came about discovering it, because I think it's really important. Back a ways, it's been since 2003, now 2004, I found myself sitting in my vice president's office, and I was told that I no longer had a job. Now, I was not really technically fired. The company that I was working for was a big industrial manufacturing frozen and fresh bakery organization, and we were bought out by a bigger bakery company that was going to split us off and sell us and do different things with the company. So my position was no longer necessary. And I don't care what they call it, when you're out of a job, it feels like you're fired. Even if you're not fired, it still feels like you're being fired. So I put on a brave face for my boss because I'd been there before. I actually, as I was putting this together and looking at the slides, I've got that I was fired 4 times, but I think I've actually been laid off and switched industries in corporate America more like 5 times. Sometimes I left jobs to go to college or go to a better job or something, but 4 or 5 times I was actually let go because the company went out of business, the company was downsized, our company was sold, or for whatever reason. But as I said, it still feels the same. It's still that gut-wrenching feeling that, oh my God, I don't have a job. I'm used to my steady paycheck, and what are we going to do? Now, in my particular situation, it was especially emotionally trying because my husband had just lost his job earlier that month. His company had actually gone out of business, so he was just SOL without a job. I actually walked away with a 2-week severance package because I'd been there right around 5 years, and that was the package they were offering to us, which, okay, 2 weeks kind of sucks, but it was better than nothing. So I was really appreciative, and I was grateful that I got anything. But as I'm loading up my boxes of stuff in my car and cleaning out my office and my desk, as I'm driving home, I'm starting to get a little bit panicky and start to think, what the heck are we going to do? Got 2 little kids at home. We just built a new house, and my husband just lost his job. And as the tears are rolling down my cheeks, because, I don't cry very often. I'm a pretty tough cookie, but that one had me a little bit overwhelmed. And I wasn't super overwhelmed because I knew it was coming. I'm a smart businesswoman. I was a smart corporate executive. I actually had my whole team trained and prepared for several months before I actually got the axe, because I knew it was coming. Whenever a business sells, there's going to be massive changes. And at that time, I made as much as like 4 or 5 other managers there. So I knew when you're going to make cuts, it only made business sense for my job to be cut. So I wasn't super devastated, but I was actually surprised that I was so upset and that I was crying, because I didn't think that I would be that affected by it. And I was great in my boss's office. He was like, I can't believe you're not upset at all. And I just explained to him that I knew it was coming. Of course I knew it was coming. And so I wasn't surprised. And, I'd been there before. But he was all, amazed at how well I took it. And then I'm in the car, and after I'm on the freeway driving home, because I had a pretty long commute at that particular time, the tears are running down my face. I'm trying to swipe them off so that the car is driving around me, because there's always traffic in the afternoon in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul area. And I didn't want people to think, I'm just a whiny, cryy thing or something. And it doesn't matter what people think, but you know how when you're in a situation like that and you're upset emotionally, you don't want other people seeing or paying attention or staring at you from their cars. So I'm driving along and I'm thinking, okay, what the heck am I going to do? I've got to get a handle on this so that when I show up at home, I don't have, a tear-stained face for my kids and the husband. So I start thinking about and changing what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about, okay, well, what do I really want? Well, I really want to make money. I know I need money. I know we need money, because we got to make the house payments. The kids like to eat. And I want more freedom than I've had in corporate America, because I've been working 70, 80, 90 hours a week normally, plus raising my family, traveling, and, corporate America, to be honest, it was getting kind of old. But I wanted to be able to hang out with my kids. There's just some shots of my kids and my new granddaughter, and I wanted to make money. That's all I could think about as I was driving home. I want to make money. I want to hang out with my family. And of course, I guess I want to be happy. And I remembered something that I've used for a long, long time, both in business, and my dad actually taught my sisters and I this strategy, and I called it my favorite PSDM system, which kind of tells you that I'm a little bit of a nerdy engineer type, that I would even use the term PSDM. And what it means, or what it stands for, is problem-solving decision-making, PSDM. And it's just a tool, but it makes it sound really fancy, I think, is probably why I use that. But all you really do is you take a piece of paper, you fold it in half. You write a plus on one side, a minus on the other, and if you want extra points, you can write the problem or the question that you're thinking about on the top of the piece of paper. And then you just brainstorm and write down all the reasons for doing something and all the reasons against doing something. That is as fancy as a problem-solving and decision-making tool needs to be. But we as human beings notoriously have a hard time making decisions. And my dad, with a family of 4 girls and my mom, learned early on that he'd better teach us a strategy to make decisions, or we would never decide where we were going out to eat as a family unless he made the decision. So we learned very young to be good decision makers. And this tool has not only served me well, but it's also served my children well. And it saved my butt on that drive home, because it gave me something to focus on versus feeling sorry for myself because I didn't have a job anymore, or thinking about what were we going to do because I didn't have a job anymore, and moving in a more positive, proactive direction. Now, I really knew that it was boiling down to, did I want to go back to job hunting and looking for another job in corporate America, or did I want to stop the corporate rat race and actually focus on and build a business that my sister and I had bought several years earlier, and she was pretty much running on a day-to-day basis, and then I was still in corporate America, sort of just helping behind the scenes, but primarily because that business wasn't at the point financially where it could support both of our families. It wasn't profitable enough. We had started out with a make a little, sell a little philosophy, which I will share right now as a business philosophy. That sucks. Don't ever adopt that as your business philosophy, because guess what? If your philosophy is I'm going to make a little, sell a little, make a little, sell a little, that's exactly what you'll do. So my dilemma, so to speak, was, do I want to go back out and job hunt, fight the traffic every day, feel like I'm going over and starting over every few years? Because about every 5 years, I found myself in a new job, in a new industry, and it always felt like starting over again. And it was always kind of fun and challenging and exciting starting a new job, but it was also starting to get really tiring and and wearing on me. And I really was looking forward to and excited about actually building the business. So even before I got home, I had obviously made up my mind. I wanted to build this business with my sister. I know that is not us, but I wish it was, but those girls look way taller than we are. But I had decided before I even got home that I wasn't going to job hunt. I was going to make a go of it with my sister. Now, I had to break the news to her, and it turns out that I ended up buying her out in the next few months because she was getting tired of doing the business and on the day-to-day basis all by herself anyway. So that ended up working out really, really well. But in a week or two, remember I only had that 2-week severance, we were quickly going from just over broke with my job to just under broke. We had the new house payment, we had, car payments, bills to pay, electric bills, all of the standard stuff that everybody has. And the situation was getting pretty dire. Either my husband and I were going to have to figure out how to rob a bank, which neither of us were qualified for, or we were going to have to ask my parents to borrow money to tide us over. Well, I lived my dream of building the business enough so that it could support both my sister and my family, or in this case, so that I could buy my sister out. Now, I don't know about you, my dad's my hero, and probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do was ask my dad for a loan. I mean, I was 40 years old at this point, and I'd had a really successful corporate career, but I didn't have any money saved because we'd just built a house. So the timing of losing my job was horrible. It could have been worse, trust me. I'm sure it could have been worse, but it wasn't. It was a bad time. And I was embarrassed to have to go ask my dad for a loan. And I was super lucky that my parents were in a position that they could lend me the money. But I also know that every single day that I owed my parents money, it broke my heart, and it just really kind of ate away at me. But again, like I said, I was super grateful and happy that they could lend me the money and that they did lend me the money. My father has since passed away. I miss him every day. But luckily, I was able to get that money, and I was able to build the business and create the life of my dreams because they were able to help me financially. And it really meant that I could buy my sister out and I could have the business and do what I want with it. But as we're building the business, before I bought my sister out, it was pretty stressful. Again, we were trying to transition from the make a little, sell a little philosophy to how are we really going to supersize this business and get it growing? And how are we going to get customers coming to us versus us chasing them? And we never really were chasing them, but we had a few key clients, I guess probably about 50 key clients that represented our entire business. And I wanted to really grow that. I didn't want to stay small anymore. And so, day in and day out, I was doing different things and trying to figure out different things for this business. And I was getting more and more stressed out because although I thought I had bought a business, I had worked myself into really just buying a job. So instead of working 70 hours a week, now I was working more. And a lot of times I was working 7 days a week doing store demos and things like that. So I would work Monday through Friday with the group and be building the business. And then I would find myself on weekends doing store demos and getting in touch with the customers, which was awesome, but it was also very, very time consuming. And after about a year of that, I was getting burnt out, and I knew we had to continue to keep changing. So I was losing sleep and trying to figure things out. And one night I woke up in a cold sweat at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I remembered, I don't know why I didn't think of it before, but it just came to me in a flash, conversations and chats that we had with my dad every year. My dad was very entrepreneurial, which is, I'm sure, where we get it from, my sisters and I. And he had us in and out of different businesses over the decades. We did Christmas trees, and we sold wreaths and car washes and all different fun things over the years. He was a corporate guy his whole career, but he also always had businesses on the side, which, again, I'm sure that's where I got it. But he had gotten us involved in the fireworks business about 20 years prior to this. And every year, every summer, no matter what we were doing, we girls and our spouses and kids would all come together and sell fireworks for about a month right around the 4th of July in our little town. And sometimes in a neighboring town, but mostly in our little town. And every year, my dad would sit in an old leather chair in the back or by the back door and by this garbage can, and he'd be looking around, and then all of a sudden, he'd get this big old grin on his face and the big old laugh and delighted smile, and he would say, girls, look, it's a feeding frenzy. And you know what? He was absolutely right. You would look around this little fireworks stand, and it wasn't really a little fireworks stand, and you would see body to body of people. And in the early years, we had a liquor business too, and so we used beer flats. If you're familiar with what beer flats are, we used beer flats as our shopping carts before we got fancy and got real shopping carts and baskets for people. And people would have these beer flats or these later on the carts just overflowing with things, and we'd have multiple registers going as fast as we could, and it was literally a feeding frenzy. And year after year, the same people and the same customers from all over the area came back to our fireworks stand. And as I woke up and remembered that story, I knew exactly what I had to do. I needed to create an ongoing feeding frenzy for my business. That's what I had to do. So I began looking around all over the place, trying to figure out all different ways to attract customers to my business. I needed them to come to my business like it was the 4th of July and it was a feeding frenzy. So I tried all kinds of stuff. Some things worked, some things were complete and utter disaster and a total waste of time, money, and energy. But I knew that the secret to having a successful, profitable, growing business was to get customers coming to me, coming to my business. So my secret plan, which wasn't very secret, was to roll this out first in my Italian food manufacturing business, which was the business that I was initially growing with my sister, and then I bought her out, and roll it into all of our other businesses, both in my family, my ex-husband and I, ex now, but at the time, we had just started a handful of different real estate businesses. So we were super busy. But my plan then was to roll this system out, and it really didn't have the name Customers Catcher back then. We called it Catching Customers, but we hadn't come up with the name Customers Catcher yet. Actually, my daughter came up with the name Customers Catcher, just like she came up with one of our real estate companies' names. She's like, just call it Gold Star Homes. So we named one of our businesses in the real estate market Gold Star Homes. But as we started doing things and finding and gaining success in the area of getting customers coming to us, I still had a problem because it took a lot of people and a lot of money and a lot of time to put together one of these systems, because what I was doing is creating a customer handling, customer catching system for my business, and then for the next business and the next business. And it was working really well, but we were pulling pieces and things together from all different areas, from different industries, things I'd learned from different industries, the best of the best, and we were piecemealing that all together and building an automated system to do basically all of the marketing and customer handling for each of these businesses. So now what's possible is a lot of things. I am truly living the life that I've always wanted to. You see the picture of my house there? Actually got that baby paid for now. It was a struggle at the time when we first lost our jobs. There's a cabin, one of my cars, places I like to go to. I love to go to the state park for walks now, and I never could do that before. I was always working. And I actually had my best day of sales ever for $797,000. That's my best sales day so far. Now, I will tell you, that's not my goal. My goal is to beat that, but that was a very good day. And you got a picture of my mom and my grandma. My grandma's 98 years old. I get to go get my hair and nails done, and that might not mean anything to you, but for me personally, I love to go get my hair and nails done. And it's just fun. My daughter's a photographer, and that's my son on Mount Everest, and then some cool people I get to hang out with. But the best part of all of this and building all of these systems and making sure they were automatic was that I actually got to spend the whole first year hanging out with my beautiful granddaughter. I was able to, because I created these systems and put them in place, actually spend an entire year with my granddaughter. So after 40 years, I finally discovered the hard way. And if you've been struggling with getting everything done for your business, getting enough customers to be always coming and attracted to you without you having to jump through hoops to get them, and it taking you a lot of time and energy and money to make that happen, if you're making it happen at all, this is probably why. The hard way takes a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of energy, and a lot of work. It requires a lot of people, a lot of different systems and moving parts and pieces. And if you're like I am, I didn't have a lot of time and money and energy and mostly it was the time and the energy to be managing and running and putting together all of these pieces. I needed to make it a system that could run by itself once I got it set up. But the old way, we had to do all these things by hand. I had to either hire or do by myself, and mostly hire because I don't have the technical capability of doing most of these things. I'm not a designer. If you've seen any of the stuff that I do, fortunately my daughter is a photographer and graphic designer, so it's super helpful for me because I can get her to look at stuff and she'll tell me how ugly it is, and she's like, nope, you need to go back to the drawing board. But we used to have to hire all of these different functions out. And these are just a handful of the things that we tried over the years. Like I said, some of them worked really, really well. Some of them were a complete frustrating waste of time and money. But I'm also going to build a customer catcher system for one lucky restaurant owner here in just 15 minutes. And I'm going to do that in just a couple of minutes, so stay tuned. 3 secrets of customers catching. Secret number 1, customers catching. How to ethically steal your competitors' customers and they won't even know it hit them. Secret number 2 that I'm going to share on this little web training today, customer catching on autopilot. How to put your customers catching on autopilot with the push of a button. So simple, even my 2-year-old granddaughter could do it. And secret number 3, my favorite, my number 1 secret competitive advantage. How to bulletproof your restaurant or bar business no matter how many new joints move into your area. So let's dig right in. Secret number 1, how to ethically steal your competitors' customers and they won't even know what hit them. I can hear what you're thinking. You're saying, Sharon, how on earth will the competition not even know what hit them? Number 1, is it ethical to steal my competitors' customers? Is that ethical? Well, heck yeah. And you're not really stealing them. I'll clarify that. And how will they not even know what hit them? Let's take a minute and let me ask you a question. When you started your restaurant or bar, how much competitive research did you do for your business plan? And did you actually write and create a business plan in order to get financing for your business? Or did you finance it another way? How much time did you spend deciding and actually thinking through the type, the format, the location, and all the other criteria that you would or should have analyzed before you started your business? And then my next question would be, how much competitive research did you do? Did you look at what other type of restaurants or bars there were in the area that you wanted to start your business in? Did you study them and consider how much money they were making, how big the market was, who your customers could be, should be, and would be before you actually open the doors to your business? You don't have to answer. You can answer in the comments box if you want to, but I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot. I'm just asking because I'll be honest, when I got involved in the Italian food manufacturing business, I did 0 competitive research. I did 0 marketing analysis or anything. We did not need money to begin that business. My sister and I, when we first started that business, I was actually the part owner of a liquor store, and my partner and his wife had started this Italian food business at the liquor store, and they were tired of it and they decided they didn't want to do it anymore. So when my sister moved back to the area, we offered to buy them out because they wanted to be done. And that's how we got into the Italian food business and built the business from there. We never went to the bank to get financing. Now, I did go get some financing when I bought my sister out, and I used some of my dad's money and I used some of the bank's money to make that happen initially. But even at that time, I did very little competitive analysis, but I did more at that time than I did in 2004 than I did when we started the business in 1985. We just did it, and we knew that we would build it and figure it out as we went along. But again, it's because we had that make a little, sell a little philosophy, and I'm not sure I could recommend that. Actually, I'm sure I would not recommend that to anyone. It's just not a good manufacturing philosophy. So that's why I say I think that your competition probably won't even notice. Let me ask you a question. How much extra time and energy do you have to pay attention to what's going on at your neighbor's bar or restaurant? Or are you super busy running your day-to-day operations, running your own business, and minding your own business? I found that about 98% of bar and restaurant owners in particular are really overworked, and we've got so much to do already. The last thing we really spend our time and energy on is paying attention to what our neighbors are doing or what the competition is doing. And so as we're minding our own business, that's how the competition and the other businesses in your area won't pay attention, and they won't even know what hit them. And now I'm going to encourage you to partake in the first part of the secret, and that's, you need to know what's going on with your competition. You need to know what's going on in your market. If you want to gain and increase market share and profitability and sales and get more customers coming to you, you got to know what's going on in your market. You want to do something called a SWOT analysis. And here's another one of those nerdy engineering terms. A SWOT analysis just stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And really all you're doing, when I was in corporate America, I was a quality and ended up being sanitation as well, but a quality and process manager, vice president, whatever, depending on the company I was working for. But that was my area of expertise, and that's what I brought to the table. And that meant that my job was to analyze all of the processes and the procedures that we use within our companies, and to look at those same things as best I could for our key competitors. Because the way to attract your ideal customers, or the customers you want to come to your business, is knowing how you can offer them more of what they want than the other options available out there are for them. So basically, how can I beat my competition? By offering my customers more of what they want than my competition can. If you want to achieve success, all you need to do is find a way to model those who have already succeeded. Tony Robbins is one of my all-time favorite coaches and mentors. I've been following him since he was Anthony Robbins. And if any of you know, that is a very long time. Actually, I think we're about the same age. So it's really been rewarding and fun to watch his career and his development over the years. Now, he's a billionaire, so I guess he's doing a whole lot better than me. But I like to use a process. Again, I'm very process-oriented, to figure out and determine how I am going to steal my customers, or my competitors' customers. And so I have a process, of course, that I use to do that. First, I find my competition. I get to decide who I'm going to look at, and I'm going to look at everything they do and how they do it. But I get to decide who I'm going to do that for. So if I am an Italian food restaurant in my community, now I can decide that I'm only going to look at, the nearest Italian food restaurants. Or I can say, well, there's a Mexican restaurant, there's an American Grill, there's a seafood place, there's a steak place, and I'm going to look at those and decide that they're my competition. It's up to you. There's kind of an art and a science to all of this stuff. And one of the things that you get to decide is, who am I going to look at? Who am I going to compare myself to as a competition? Now, you want to make sure you compare yourself to who your ideal customers are comparing you to, because you want to always win. You always want them to have you be the number one choice for where they're going to go when they have an opportunity to go out and spend their money. You want them to come and spend their money with you. So first you have to find out and decide who your competition is going to be. Then you have to figure out, well, where are their customers coming from? And they can be coming from all different sources, but you want to look at where their customers are coming from, because the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put your business in front of them. You're going to create an offer that is more appealing to your customers, the customers you want to come to your place, and you're going to put that offer in front of them. you're going to offer them more of what they want. And that usually comes in one of the top 5 reasons people buy are to make money, save time, avoid pain or effort, and to increase pleasure. Those are the 5 main reasons people buy. So if you can, in your offer, give your customers or potential customers one or more of those things in your offer, you'll win. And then you can just watch customers flock to your place over the competition. Helena's experience. We've added 517 new and repeat customers to our restaurant since we launched our Customers Catcher. The goal is to add 1,000 customers. At the rate we're going, it is looking like we will reach that before the end of the year. Helena Salvatore. So who does this work for, you might be asking? Well, it works for fine dining restaurants, fast casual restaurants, any cuisine restaurant you can imagine it works for, food carts, mall kiosks, fast food, healthy alternative restaurants, sports bars, pubs, dive bars, burger joints, wine bars, dessert bars, coffee and tea cafes, breweries, taverns, big or small, independents or chains, any place people go to eat or drink, it works for all types of bars and restaurants. And guess what? We've discovered that it works for all types of restaurants. Any restaurant or bar, but in addition to that, any business that relies on customers, it works for. Because every business, hint, hint, every business relies on customers for sales, for their livelihood, because if you don't have customers, you don't have a business, right? Customers bring the money. So who wants to know my favorite place to spy on my competition? Now, I want to make a quick disclaimer here. It's not really spying. I like to say it's spying because it makes me feel a little more exciting and not so nerdy, but it's really just good business. Knowing what's going on in your environment is just plain smart business. But my favorite spyglass is called SEMrush, and it's semrush.com, and this is an online tool, and they have a free version, which is probably why it's my favorite tool. But you can get so much information from this one tool. Now you might be thinking, oh, bars and restaurants aren't really online, so there's not going to be any information in this tool. Well, a Panera Bread just recently opened up in my town, my hometown, so I thought I would go ahead and pull up Panera Bread to show you, yes indeed, even in a small town like mine, you can find information and competitive analysis information that is valuable to you in deciding what you want to do with your business and how you want to market your business. I might have mentioned, and I should have if I haven't already, I live out in the country. I have really bad internet bandwidth, and so I was going to show a live demonstration of SEMrush because I love it. It's really exciting, and I wanted to share that tool with you. But my computer kept freezing up, so when I had this and my recording software going at the same time, my bandwidth just can't handle it. So I had to go ahead and just grab a screenshot and take a picture of it to show you. But again, semrush.com, free version, and I'm going to share it again later on in the presentation in a little more detail with a couple different competitive restaurants so that you can see a little bit more of what I'm talking about. But that's only one tool. There are thousands of tools online and on the internet where you can get competitive information about anybody that would be in your competition. Now, one thing I've also learned, and we'll talk about a little later on, is that there aren't, the restaurant and bar industry are very, very underrepresented on the internet, but that's changing really, really fast because people with their cell phones now are expecting, and almost, it's almost a requirement now of business success to have some kind of an online presence. And so this will help you do that as well. I just grabbed 3 customer catchers out of my back office and did screenshots to show you kind of the diversity of the different kinds of customer catchers that you can have for your business. This is our fine dining customer catcher, our fast casual customer catcher, and a sports bar customer catcher. These are just random templates that we created for each different type of business that you can use and tweak and customize to look and feel any way that you want, or any way that you can imagine to match the look and feel you want for your particular business. But I just wanted to show you, hey, there is so much variety and so many different things we can do with the customer catcher system. So what is your customer catcher going to look like? I'm going to say just do it. You got to have something. So secret number 1, how to ethically steal your competitors' customers and they won't even know what hit them. Again, everybody's busy. They're minding their own business. If you're starting to get more of your ideal customers coming to you and being more successful, guess what? They're not even going to notice because they're going to be too busy trying to get customers to their place and running their own business that they're not even going to understand or know. And it probably won't even affect them. Again, steps to steal customers: find your competition. Where are their customers coming from? Put your business in front of them, give customers what they want, and then watch customers flock to your place. That's as simple as that. So now you know how to ethically steal customers from your competition, and they won't even notice. Secret number 2, customer catchers on autopilot. How to put your customer catching on autopilot with the push of a button. So simple, even my 2-year-old granddaughter can do it. And I know she can do it because she was driving a remote control car the other day, and that's way more complicated and challenging than what I'm about to show you. But first, of course, I want to share another little story with you. About 7 years ago now, I actually had a sudden cardiac arrest and dropped dead. Yes, dead. I was under, it doesn't even matter what all led up to it, but I was under a super duper lot of stress, and I wasn't taking care of myself, yada, yada, yada. So after I woke up from a coma in the hospital, and I was not significantly brain damaged, and my family might argue with you about that, but honestly, I'm pretty good. I knew, I started to research and look up statistics on sudden cardiac arrest, and I knew that if I did not make a massive lifestyle change, I would not be talking to you right now. I wouldn't be here anymore. The vast majority of people die within 3 to 6 years of a heart event, such as a sudden cardiac arrest, if they don't make lifestyle changes. So it was a big wake-up call to me, and I decided I needed to make massive lifestyle changes. Not little lifestyle changes, massive lifestyle changes. So I started telling my family and friends that I was going to exercise every day for a year. I don't know where I got the idea. I guess there were a lot of challenges and things going around on the internet, so I thought, I'm going to exercise every day. And then I thought, well, I'm going to exercise every day for a year. Now, if you know me, when I had my sudden cardiac arrest, I didn't exercise. I didn't make time for exercise. I was a workaholic, and I was busy all the time, and I was running all my businesses, and I was working hard at work, but exercise was not even in my vocabulary. 2-liter bottles of diet pop, a couple pots of coffee, and some jalapeno chips was my diet for the most part, and exercise just wasn't it. I just didn't have time for it. I had kids at home, and I was being a mom and a wife and running businesses, and I just didn't make time to take care of myself. So I knew I needed to do something very, very different. So I'm telling my family, it's kind of like when you go on a diet and you tell people, oh, I'm going to go on a diet, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, and they all are like, oh no, don't do that, you can't lose weight, and you're setting yourself up for failure. Well, they did the same thing with this exercise thing. And I'm one of those people that if you tell me I can't do something, I'm just saying watch me, because I'm going to make it happen. I love it when people tell me I can't do something, because my dad taught me there's no such thing as can't. And I come from a training and background of continuous improvement and lifelong learning, and I'm not much of a rule follower. I like to make my own rules. So when you tell me I can't do something, it's going to happen. Well, I have now been exercising every day since September of 2010, and I quit counting the days. I used to count the days, but when I got to like 2000 something, I finally stopped counting because I figured it was already a habit and I was good and I didn't need to count anymore. But I carry that philosophy with me throughout my whole life. So I'm building these customer catcher systems with my teams for my businesses, and it's hard. We're always looking for ways to improve them. And we're always looking for different tools and technologies that came about and hit the market that would make life easier and be able to help us make some of the different pieces of the customer catcher system and our customer handling systems automatic. But we were still struggling. But I always knew that we could find and would eventually find and crack the code on this and make it simple, easy, and inexpensive to use and create. So some of the things we used to have to do, and I think I've covered and talked a little bit about these, or I at least glossed over them, but we had to do a lot of different things in manual ways and piece together, I think like 17 to 20 different systems, different software systems and tools to get the results and the numbers and the things that we wanted to make all of this happen. But then I was introduced to an incredible piece of software that made simplifying and automating this entire process possible. We actually got rid of 17 different tools and pieces of software that we were using by going to a software tool called ClickFunnels. And with ClickFunnels, you can clone your customer catcher funnel, and I can just share it in your account if you have a ClickFunnels account. You can customize your customer catcher any way you want. You can collect customers, you can wow customers, you can communicate with customers, and we can use templates to systematize and automate the entire thing. ClickFunnels, again, is just an online automated marketing and sales system. So you have like a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, sales force out working for you and promoting your business and the customer catcher system that we're going to create for you and your business, and handling all of your marketing. Now, I want to let you know, when real live human beings come into your business physically, your restaurant or your bar, you're going to have to feed them. You're going to have to take care of them. You're going to have to give them good service, and you're going to have to deliver on the promises that you've made in your automatic sales system. You're going to have to talk to people and interact with people, but all of your marketing and customer handling can be done on autopilot with this system. Now, I really want to take a few minutes to show you the system that we created for one lucky business owner. I actually did a little survey where you could enter to win a free customer catcher system for your business. And the business that won is a lady named Matilda, and she and her friend Sandra have a cafe together. And so we chatted on the phone for a few minutes, got some business assets from her, and I threw together a customer catcher handling system for her. And so I want to show you what we came up with. I'm going to see if it'll work here or if I need to pause and bump over to YouTube. But again, I preloaded this, and I'm hoping that it will record and work, and I will show you what we created for her. I think it's going to make us go to YouTube. And that's okay too, because we should still be capturing the recording.
All right, here we go.
So this is inside my ClickFunnels account. Oh, I guess it helps if I push play, right?
ClickFunnels and customer catchers. I am going to see how long it actually takes me to do this. Got a set of old headphones on, so I'm hoping that they work, and my microphone to try to eliminate the feedback and things that I get off of it otherwise. So here I am in my ClickFunnels account. You can see I've got lots of funnels in here, but what we're going to do is we're just going to pick one of my templates, and I'm going to show you how, with the push of a button, we can create a customer catcher for you. This template is called Fine Dining Customer. I just grabbed the first one that I came to. And when you do that, you then go to your Settings tab. And on your Settings tab, right below Settings, you'll see this Clone Funnel button. You push the Clone Funnel button, and as if by magic, that funnel is copied into your account. So all I have to do, if you're a customer catcher, is send you this clone funnel or a link to this clone funnel, and you can, just like I showed you, with the push of a button, in under 30 seconds, have this funnel as is in your account. And then you can go about customizing it for your particular business. Now, the business that won this week and entered her business was a lady named Matilda. She's got a cafe, and it took me a little longer than 15 minutes to create this for her, given her artwork and what she wanted for designs and details. But I've got it here, and I'm just going to walk you through some of the features, because I can't possibly show you how to customize everything in 15 minutes. I actually thought I could, but with my computer connection and trying to record simultaneously, it just takes my computer too long to get from screen to screen. But we will go ahead and walk through her funnel. And all we did, well, her funnel or her sales process or her customer capture is exactly what this is. This is a system for her to capture customers with this first page, this squeeze page, and we're going to go ahead and click on that and show you. And then we've created for her a membership site, which is a way to get customers to come back to her place at whatever frequency she chose. And we decided to offer for her, and I'll go into the details of that. I'm going to show you the page. Let's go ahead and preview this so you can see what it looks like to a customer. It's pretty simple. She didn't have her logo handy, so we just used a little lady to fill in for her logo. But these are the colors and everything she picked. And what she's offering people as an incentive to join her members club is a free pie. They come into her place and she gives them a free pie. And all they have to do to get that is enter their name and email, and now they're on her list, and she can begin sending the automated communications that we're creating for her together, that we've already created and she's just customizing actually, to follow up and to encourage people to continue to come to her business. But it doesn't stop there. We also, for her, created an upsell, which is this membership site I was telling you about. It's a sales page. And what she decided to offer as an incentive for people to come to her business was once a month she will give whoever comes in that's a member, they can order whatever they want for breakfast, whatever they want for lunch, and whatever they want for dinner. And her menu prices are within a range that she's comfortable with doing that. Providing, one of each meal per month for her customers. And then she's also going to create a custom special dessert just for each customer every time that they join her for a meal, including these meals and other meals. So if somebody comes in for breakfast, they can get a muffin or whatever, or a caramel roll or something along with their breakfast. And if they come in for their lunch and dinner, they can get, whatever she's got on the menu. But she's also going to create some special desserts that are only available to you if you're a member of the Matilda MC members only special group, because they'll have a special menu. And I guarantee those will be absolutely mouth-watering desserts that are displayed in a prominent place in order to get people to sign up for this program. We've had a couple of discussions about that, and she's really excited about some of the things that she and her friend Sandra can create to make this really special for their customers. And that's $47 a month. So we've created this and set it up as a membership site to encourage people to come back to her restaurant pretty much weekly or pretty frequently. If you're paying $50 a month and an entree or a breakfast is about $10, you're going to want to come 4 or 5 times to her place. And this works for her and her business and what she's trying to achieve with it, and she's pretty excited about it. Now, in addition to this, we also created an upsell package for her and for her business. We're going to skip to that. This is set up as a one-time offer, but what it does, and we don't have her video available yet. We didn't have it available to plug in here, so we just plugged in some random catering guy that I found on YouTube just for demonstration purposes to show you. But what she's offering is a $3,000 value package, a catered event or holiday meal for $997. But the cool thing about this is she can charge up front for this meal and plan accordingly, and they get an awesome deal. They get 2/3 off, which is an incredible deal. But she gets cash flow and money. Let's go ahead and look at this in the preview mode. For having pre-sold this, it's kind of the same principle of selling gift cards. You sell gift cards ahead of time, and there's always some percentage of those people that don't redeem them, but you want them to, because you want them to come to your business and be satisfied and have a great experience with you and your organization. And so that's what she's offering here. She's like, I can definitely do that. We can think of some really cool things to do for people and some special event type things, and for birthdays or holidays or whatever the person that buys this decides they want to do. She'll tailor make it and do a menu with them to make sure it's a memorable and special event. And so that's what she did for her upsell. And then the other pages in this funnel are just what make it work. The how to take money part, the order form, the thank you page where people can then redeem and find their programs. So I can just quickly show you that those are in here. And she just went for kind of a country, homesy, home cooking look and feel for her site. as you can see here. It's kind of the checkerboard, and then how to take money. This is automatically generated for you, so that works out really, really well and is easy. And then again, the rest of this is made up of the thank you page. I guess we missed the order page. We could go back to that. Here's the thank you page. Simple. Gives you a step-by-step what the customer needs to do. Again, her logo is not available yet. And then the order form, just so you know what it looks like. And there you have it. Everything's set up and everything's on autopilot. Now, in addition to this, we've got a series of emails and other communications that are built into this system for her. She's actually working on customizing those, but they would fall under this automations tab. So for example, when someone orders, a whole series of emails can be sent out and messages sent out to continue to communicate with the people that join her club. And we can do the same thing for you. We've got all of these. We've got several series of emails set up in advance. So all you have to do is plug in your information, and you can use these same emails with your details to continually communicate with your customers on autopilot. So there you have it. That's all there is to setting up Customers Catcher on top of your ClickFunnels account. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, here we go.
Sorry about that. We got kind of a non-smooth transition going on. This is the one I want, I believe. All right, let's see if we're back on track. So that is a quick demo of the Customer Catcher from Matilda. I hope you found that exciting. Keep in mind that that's totally customizable, and I just totally missed Jake's testimonial. Sorry about that. Guess I can probably figure out how to go back. This is a problem with having eye trouble. I have a hard time going back in anything. Yep, there we go. That should work. Hang on. There we go. We're adding about 10 people per day to our system. It's making the slow nights fun and kicking our cash flow in the ass. We're profitable for the first time every night of the week. We used to have to count on the weekends to cover the weekdays. Jake Taylor. Jake has a wine bar, and what he was having trouble with was every night of the week, except for Fridays and Saturdays, they were really short of business. So he was doing things like sponsoring sports teams and actually bringing in clientele that he wasn't really thrilled to have in his business, but he was trying to do everything that he could to improve his cash flow on those slow nights. And his Customer Catcher allowed him the opportunity to attract the customers he really wanted by doing these promotions just to them and his ideal customer versus having to just go with everybody and whoever happened to come in. So you can do this, or you can have somebody else do it for your business. You might be looking at that and saying, okay, I'm not technical, I'm already swamped. How is this not going to mean I have to do any more work, Sharon? And here's how I look at it. You have to be the driving force as the business owner behind what you want to see and what you want to offer to your customers, and the look and the feel and the theme and the logo and things like that. You have to provide those things for the system, but you don't have to actually be the person that physically does the work. Over half of the business owners we've worked with have had someone else in their organization actually create the Customer Catcher physical system for them. They just tell them what they want, and then the girlfriend, the spouse, the fiance, the employee, the store manager, whatever you want to call her, whoever you want to have do it, can actually perform and do that for you. It's super duper easy. I think that the demo proved that if I can do this, because I'm not technical, then anyone can do it. It's a simple and easy thing to set up. And I will say you don't have to have ClickFunnels to do it, but I will go on to say that you're crazy not to, because like I said, ClickFunnels allowed us to get rid of 17 different tools and software programs and things that we were using to create our system, and it has just streamlined the process and made it so much easier for us. And the things I've showed you are just the tip of the iceberg of what it's capable of doing for you and for your business. So that's secret number 2, how to put customer catching on autopilot with a push of the button. So simple, even my 2-year-old granddaughter could do it. And there's another picture of her little beautifulness because I'm so proud of her. I like to share pictures of her. So now you know what to do. You know how to put your customer catching and your customer handling on autopilot with the push of a button. And again, you don't have to be the one that does it. We can have someone do it for you, or we can train someone in your organization to do it for you. And if you're like, oh my God, I have no one in my organization that can even do this, guess what? We can set you up with a VA or somebody to make sure it gets done for you. Secret number 3, my favorite, is my number 1 competitive advantage. And it's how to bulletproof your restaurant or bar no matter how many new joints open up in your area. I want to share a little story with you. I've been associated with Bar 1 for, about 8 years now. And Bar 1 for about 5 years was the absolute number 1 choice and go-to place for pretty much anyone in our area between the ages of 21 and 35. And a couple years ago, Bar 2 moved into town and started to capture and take away, according to Bar number 1's owner, some of their business. Now, that wasn't necessarily a bad thing because, Bar number 1 thought it was because he liked having all the business. And he was scared and worried that that was a problem as he was losing business to Bar number 2. But fortunately, he knew me, and so we started talking and working together on it. And I showed him what he really needed to do to be competitive when a new business moves to town. It's kind of like when a Walmart moves to town. All the businesses in the area, the small mom and pop shops, start to go out of business. Now, they don't go out of business because there isn't enough business in the area. They go out of business because they give up and they quit and they get scared. And instead of doing what they need to do to better serve a small group of clients and let the rest of the clients go to Walmart, they get scared, they close up shop, they go out of business, and Walmart smiles and laughs all the way to the bank because they didn't even have to compete. Now, if Walmart's moving into your area, that proves that there's plenty of business to go around. So your little mom and pop shop can totally stay open while Walmart coexists in the same town. But the belief is that they can't, and so the small mom and pop shops give up and they just quit business. Well, I guarantee if Bar number 1's owner hadn't worked with me when Bar number 2 came into town, he would at this point have already gone out of business, shut his business, or sold his business if he could find a buyer at a massive discount, because he wouldn't have believed that he could compete and that there could be enough business for both of them to actually coexist very nicely. Well, we did some work together, and I set up we set up a customer catcher for him, and we created a cool offer for him that attracted his ideal customers. Now, what he learned and was super excited about was now, instead of having all of the 21 to 35 year olds at his business, he had just the ones he really wanted. Because let's be honest, not all 21 to 35 year olds are your ideal customer, depending on the type of bar or restaurant you have. Some 21 year olds and to 30 year olds or even 35 year olds get a little unruly and a little rowdy and tend to cause damage and break things when they drink too much and testosterone levels get up, and they get in fights, they break windows, they pull things off the ceiling. Anything you can imagine just about can happen. And what Bar number 1's owner discovered was, by attracting and making offers for his ideal clients, those were the ones that were coming back from Bar number 2 to his business. But the ones that were less desirable and weren't his ideal customer were staying with Bar number 2. So it was really win-win. He discovered that there was plenty of business to go around. We actually drove around town and would actually put people in lines at different businesses in the area and talk to them and ask them why they were going to Bar number 2. And we did a lot of really fun old school market research as part of that project. And I learned a lot and reinforced a lot, but it really, really showed Bar number 1's owner that there's plenty of business to go around. There's no lack of customers If you're providing people something that they want, they will flock to your doors. They just have to know that you're providing it and that you have it and that you're creating offers that are something that they really want. So it's a good thing we went through that exercise, because in the next 9 months, 7 new places opened up in the area and in his area. And some of them were direct competitors and some of them not so direct, but all in the bar and restaurant space. So I guarantee if we hadn't done this and we hadn't created this for his business and we hadn't gone through this exercise, there's no way he would still be in business. So one of the things that we talked about and that you need to know is, where are the different businesses in my area, are the other restaurants and bars in my area, where are they getting their, not traffic, it's not traffic, where are their customers coming from? Everybody calls it traffic, but what traffic is customers. Where are they getting their customers from? And is that somewhere that I should be looking to get my customers from too? Just remember, like, secret number 1, we want to put ourselves in front of the stream of customers and make sure that they know what we have to offer and that it's for them. So again, semrush.com is a great site for that, as is SimilarWeb. Those are 2 of my favorite sites for doing this research and looking into what's going on in my area. Now again, you might think, oh, small town, there's nobody online, I can't get any information. And I will say absolutely false. There's tons of information. I picked just 5 restaurants in my small town and did a quick competitive analysis and looked up on these 2 websites, Panera Bread, Applebee's, Starbucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Wendy's. And we have other restaurants in my town like McDonald's, and we've got a lot of them now, but a lot of them, and there was tons of information on these sites. It shows where they're getting their traffic from or where their customers are coming from. It shows where they're advertising, the words that they use to advertise, if they're advertising, what sites they're sharing links to and getting information from. There's just a plethora of information available. And if you find this and know how to use it, you now know where you can run ads and where you can dip your toe in to compete with and attract similar customers. If the customers that I want to attract to my restaurant are similar to Panera Bread's customers, I can look and I can see exactly what they're doing, and then I can do the same thing or similar things, not the exact same thing, but similar things to attract them to my business. If I know that my customers are the same customers that are attracted to Panera, and Panera Bread, these are the actual ads they're running, then I can use similar colors, look, feel, or style that matches the style of my business, but also is found and to work and is successful for Panera Bread. That's just one quick example. So now I know things by doing this research. I know where the different businesses in my area are advertising. I know what they're saying. I know who they're targeting and who they're after, if they are. And so I went online and I just plugged in. There's actually, it turns out, like 95 restaurants in my small town. I didn't do bars because we've got as many bars, I'm sure, as well. But in my small town, there's 95 restaurants right now. And so I did a little spying and I looked around to find out what is going on in my market. And these are just 5 websites for businesses that are in my market that I could think of that I actually like. And it was really interesting what I found out. A lot of the restaurants in my area have no web presence other than the free review sites like Yelp and what are some of the others? TripAdvisor, things like that. Now, that's a little scary to me. If you have a business, are you really going to put all of your eggs in one basket that you don't control? Are you going to really count on and hope that nobody comes to your restaurant and happens to have a bad experience, or not even has a bad experience, but maybe they're having a bad day and they decide that they're going to write a review on one of the review sites, and that's the only presence you have on the internet? That is really risky and really scary, and I'm going to encourage you to not do that. At least do something online that you control and you manage, so that you have a message out there, and the message out there that you want to be putting forth for your business and your organization. So a couple of key things that we learned by looking at the competition and looking at what's going on in our area. A few things I discovered is the best performing restaurants and bars are doing something. They're not just doing nothing like the majority of the people in the industry. They're doing something. They're either modeling the best of what's going on in the restaurant and bar industry and the food industry, or another industry. They're actually modeling and learning from another industry and putting those things to work for their bar or their restaurant. They have some form of customer catching or customer engagement, and it's done automatically. They have an automatic email list where people can sign up for their email list. Now, I will admit, no one in my area is doing any kind of an incentive or offer for people to become a part of their mailing list. I found that very fascinating, but it's a huge opportunity for any restaurant and bar owner that actually does that. But again, the really big eye-opener for me was that most of the competition is not doing anything. They got nothing going on. And in this day and age with cell phones and technology and everybody walking around with a cell phone in their hand, I don't think that you're going to be in business long if you don't start taking control of this, managing your social media, managing your communication with your best customers, and encouraging and building a relationship with them to get them coming back to your place time and time again. So again, if we model what works, you get your best customers coming to your place on autopilot, visiting more often, spending more money, bringing their friends, and then you get to watch your bar and restaurant thrive. And isn't that what we all want? We want our business to be super successful. That's why we opened it, right? Didn't we start our own business to, number one, make a lot of money and make a difference in our community, and for whatever other reason that you started your business? So we're getting about 2 to 4 customers a day on our automated online system, Customer Catcher. I love repeat happy customers who like being associated with our little wine bar. I just do not even think about competition anymore. We love our customers now. Wine, don't whine is our motto. Wanda Washington. And Wanda is one of those new 7 businesses. She actually started working with me before she opened her business, and we did a competitive analysis and we figured out what the community needed, because she knew she wanted to start something in the hospitality industry, but she wasn't married to any one idea. And we discovered that people in this community that are a little bit older wanted just a pleasant atmosphere wine and dessert bar. And so that's what she created, and she has been busy and profitable since day one. That to me is very exciting. So you're probably thinking, geez, competition used to be scary, but it's really not so scary anymore, because you got to keep in mind, the only real competition is you. You're really only competing against yourself and your business being better and better, and providing customers, your ideal customers, the customers you want to work with, what they want. And if you get them what they want, they'll come and they'll choose your place. The whole abundance versus scarcity mentality, I think we really learned that lesson with bar 1 and bar 2. We really saw that there is plenty of business to go around and there is no scarcity. It's just a matter of changing your mindset and knowing that if you offer your people, the people you want to be your people, what they want, they will come to your place. And the other thing that I often hear bar and restaurant owners voice a concern about when we're first starting to talk about this customer catcher system for their business is, oh, people are going to talk about me. And they feel a little concerned about that. But I gotta tell you what, if you're a business owner, people are already talking about you, and they're gonna talk about you no matter what. So you might as well be in control of what they're talking about versus being at the mercy of what they might be gossiping about. So that's secret number 3. Again, my favorite, how to bulletproof your restaurant or bar business no matter how many new joints move to town and open in your area. Again, anybody can compete against Walmart by just providing their ideal customers more of what they want, and that might be better service. It's not about price. One of my biggest pet peeves in business, and especially in smaller businesses, is a lot of business owners are under the false impression that they have to compete on price. And I learned this lesson again from the fireworks business. All the other fireworks stands around us always did this buy one get one free promotion, and actually it was really kind of promoted by our supplier. Our supplier loved buy one, get one free. Well, why is that? Because the supplier or the manufacturer sells twice as much and makes the same amount of money. But each of the individual stands move twice the volume, but make the same amount of money or half the amount of money. And if you get in that pricing war, that's exactly what it becomes. It becomes a pricing war and everything becomes a commodity. And we never want to be providing anyone with a commodity. They have to know what we're offering is special and unique and designed exactly and especially for them, or they don't want to participate, or they are just buying on price. And unless you're the least expensive, you might as well be the most expensive, because that's the only way to win the pricing game. So now you know how to bulletproof your restaurant, no matter how many new places pop up in your area. Again, the 3 secrets we just discussed: how to ethically steal your competitors' customers and they won't even know what hit them. How to put customer catching on autopilot with the push of a button, so simply my 2-year-old granddaughter can do it. And how to bulletproof your restaurant or bar no matter how many new places open up in your area. So if I model what works, if I give people what they want, they'll beat a path to my door and competition becomes irrelevant. We all want our competition to be irrelevant, right? We want to know that we can get as much business coming to us automatically as we can possibly handle or as we want to handle. So let me ask you a question. I know when I get on these webinars, and I get on them pretty often because I love learning, a lot of the times at this point in the webinar, I feel like I've been drinking out of a fire hose. I've got so much information and so many ideas, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to put them all to work in my business. So I have put together a special deal and a special offer, and I just want to know if you would like me to show you that special offer and show you how you can put all this to work in your business step by step on autopilot. Would that be okay? Alrighty. So what we've created is something we call Customer's Catcher. And again, I shared that we got that name from my daughter. She and my son used to like to play with these little butterfly nets, and they would catch butterflies during the day, and then they would catch fireflies at night in the summer. And so that's just where the name came from. But what are you going to get with this Customer Catcher thing? What the heck is this, and what's it going to do for me? Well, the first thing you're going to get is a 6-week Customer Catchers Masterclass. And in this masterclass, you are going to learn everything that you need to know step by step to create your customer catcher system, the unique system that will attract your ideal customers and get them beating a path to your door, literally beating a path to your door. And you'll get to decide what you're going to offer them and how you're going to attract them to your business and how many people you want to attract based on what you're going to offer them. We're going to cover everything about erasing the competition, so the competition becomes irrelevant and that you are the #1 choice for your desired customers. We're going to talk about captivating your customers, not just meeting their needs or giving them quality service. We're going to talk about wowing them and giving them experiences that they will remember and talk about and share with other people and keep them coming back for more. We'll talk about all of the different customer communications that you need. And again, I mentioned we have templates and things that you can just customize for your particular customers and your specific business. And our end goal is to create customers for life. It's not just to get a bunch of first-time customers coming in your door, enjoying a meal at your business, and then never coming back. We want to make them feel like they are a loyal part of your family, a member of your family, a real part of your business and a contributor to your business and your business success. We want them to share in that success so that they do feel a vested interest and like they are a customer and that they'll be a long-time customer for life. With Customer's Catcher, we got 23 new customers our first week. Now that we have the catcher perfected, we're on track to get 100 new customers this month. I never thought it would work for my little cafe, Alicia Keller. So again, who does this work for? Any type of restaurant, bar, food, cuisine, any size, any style, any model. And I forgot to ask earlier, but if you're thinking, oh, my business is so different, this will never work for me, I live in a remote area, whatever you can think of, whatever thing is popping into your head that you're saying, oh, this won't work for me, please, please, please put it in the comment box and I will send you, after this webinar, the link to someone else's business, very similar, if not identical to your type business, and show you how they're putting it to work for their business. And we can hop on the phone and talk about it too if you're really concerned that you don't think it'll work for your business because your business is different. I mean, I'll be honest, you guys, we all think our business is different. We all think, and our businesses are all different and they are all special, but just because they're different and special doesn't mean this won't work for you and make your life 1,000% easier. I used Customer Catcher to buy my resort restaurant. I got it under contract, then used what I learned to double our average nightly sales in only 8 months. The increased revenue covers the monthly payment. Jackie McDonald. I've never had an actual business before Angles. I followed Sharon's instructions, set up a Customer Catcher, and my first try sold 17 people on my front end offer, which was a free plan and for a loyalty program, and 4 people bought the $247 package. George is the only person I know, I love George, that's actually less technical than I am. When I met him, he had never run a business before and he didn't even own a laptop. Fortunately, his fiance did have a little bit of, she could at least do social media and a couple of programs on the computer. So she's actually the one that had to set it up for George. But he was so excited that he got 4 people to buy his upsell package the first day. And he now had 21 people to start in on his automated email and communications campaign right off the bat the first day. I was not sure Customer Catcher would work for my business or me, but since it was guaranteed, I had nothing to lose. I set it up and forgot about it. 2 weeks later, I checked it out and was flabbergasted. I wondered where all the new folks were coming from. Kim White. Kim is one of those people who actually has a liquor store. She doesn't have a restaurant or bar, but she has sort of a related industry business, and she has a liquor business, and it worked for her. So now you might be thinking, and I don't want you to worry because I've decided I'm going to make this our Blue Plate special because I know it will absolutely positively change everyone's business and life and make it more profitable. What I often hear, the reason people don't get involved and don't join us and automate and set up a Customer Catcher is because they're like, Sharon, I'm one of those people who doesn't have anything. We don't have anything. We don't have any kind of a customer handling system. We don't have any way to even know who our customers are or capture the information like emails or any information or a mailing list, an old-fashioned mailing list of our customers. We don't even have one of those fishbowl get a free lunches at our restaurant. We got nothing. So I don't want you to worry because the first thing that I'm going to do, and I decided already I'm going to make this the Blue Plate special and provide the link at the end of the webinar. This is a training I did that shows you exactly how to set up your initial customer handling system from the ground up. So that, and this is just your basic system, but it shows you how to do that so you can do it right in the first place. If you've never done it, you don't have to worry because you're going to set it up and you're going to do it right. And if you do have a system, it allows you to check your system and make sure that you're not missing any of the critical pieces that you need to have in this initial customer system. So that is our Blue Plate special. I kind of let the cat out of the bag and I'm telling you that now, but I want to make sure that you know that if you set this up and if you set it up now and do it right and verify that your system, if you've already got one, is set up right, you don't have anything to worry about because this is going to go perfectly with the Customer Catcher system. So what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass that teaches you everything and anything you need to know step by step and takes you by the hand to create an entire customer handling system that you can use on autopilot. It's a total value of $4,997. A total value of $4,997. So what else are you going to need? How about the Customer Catcher Swiss Army knife? What our Customer Catcher members get is what I call the Customer Catcher Silver Platter membership. And this is just really a membership area that has our Customer Catcher software, all the links, all the communications, all the tools that you need to build your own automated customer handling system. Again, either on top of ClickFunnels if you choose to use ClickFunnels or not with ClickFunnels. And to make that even easier for you, we're offering you a 14-day free trial to ClickFunnels Edison account. Now, I actually am such a fan of ClickFunnels that I became a certified partner for ClickFunnels. But I need to be super duper clear so there's no confusion. We are not offering, reselling, or doing anything with respect to ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is sold by Edison Suites, and that's who you'd be buying ClickFunnels through and doing the free trial should you choose to go ahead and move forward with ClickFunnels if you don't have it already. A lot of our customers we come across already have ClickFunnels, but they haven't really figured out how to put it to use for their particular business. And so this is a really awesome way to do that for you, because I am a certified partner, so I do know how to help everyone. And we cover that in detail in the training and in the membership area to make sure that everything is automated and goes as smoothly as possible for you, and that you set it up right so that everything works. So again, all the attraction, communication, experience, rewards, the wowing, and the customer for life, everything you need to make that happen is in this tool and software part of the package. So you'll be able to do all these things now on autopilot. Attract new customers to your restaurant and bar. Get customers to come back to your restaurant whenever you want. Based on how you set it up, you can choose the frequency people actually come back to your restaurant. You can increase how often people come back. You can influence how much they spend. You can have your best customers spreading the word about your restaurant, about your bar, to their friends and family. You can see your customers bringing their friends to your establishment. You can watch your sales and profits soar, in addition to much, much more. So you'll also be able to get rid of a whole lot of things by getting involved with the customer's catcher system. And again, all of the things that we talked about, plus all of these different software tools that we've got rid of, and many more. Like I said, we got rid of 17. And I don't have them all listed here. I only have like 14 things listed here. But we got to get rid of all of those things by attaching our customer catcher software system on top of the ClickFunnels suite. So customer catcher system, the system that we've put together, solved these things for me. Any doubts I had about attracting new customers and getting them to come to my business on autopilot. Any worries over handling my customers. Any fear about the competition. Any trouble with profitability or cash flow or sales, gone. Concerns over dealing with customers and creating customers for life. Challenges involving any promos, ads, or events, thing of the past. Obstacles to grow my bars or restaurants, don't have to even give them any attention anymore because it's all happening on autopilot. Not knowing what or how and when to do things, that's all taken care of in this training as well. And then any technical and practical aspects, they're all, of all my customer interactions, they're all handled with this system. So now all by myself, I can create an entire year-long customer catcher handling system that runs on autopilot in a couple of hours for the price of a burger out a day. How many of you want to set that up for your restaurant, for your bar, for your business? It's like having your own marketing department on autopilot. Let me ask a question you can answer in the comments box. How many of you have a dedicated marketing person for your business right now? If you do, wouldn't this make his or her life easier? And if you don't, what would having this system be worth to you? What would it be worth to you to have your own autopilot marketing arm of your business without it taking any more of your time and energy? So you're probably thinking, well, what happens after a year, right? Well, I just use the year as an arbitrary amount of time. You can set your customer catcher system up on autopilot for as long as you want. Or if you want, you can just recycle the same messages and the same information after a year. There's so much flexibility with this system and so many different things we can do. It's entirely up to you and how you want to set your marketing arm up. You might be thinking, I'm not technical, or I don't have time, or I don't want to, right? Well, if you are, remember, George and I aren't technical, and we make it work. If you don't have time and you don't want to, again, we've got a solution for that. You don't have to be the one that actually does it. Give the direction, give the guidance, give the leadership and coaching, because it's your business, so it's up to you to decide what you want included, but we can very easily have someone else do it for you. So again, what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, a $4,997 value. Customer Catcher software in the trial if you'd like it, a $3,564 value. That's a total value of $8,561. So what else do you need? How about more stuff done for you, like communications, promos, ads, events? pre-written and customized for your business. How about if you have access to our entire successful swipe file? Would that be helpful? Customer Catcher Killer Communications is what we call this bonus. And in Customer Catcher Killer Communications, that is a tongue twister, you get my traditional media cheat sheets, my direct marketing lumpy mail secrets, both from these restaurant and bar endeavors, but also from our real estate endeavors. My husband and I, my ex-husband and I, ran one of the most successful lumpy mail campaigns ever. We had so many customers coming to us, we actually had to hire people to outsource and give our leads away to, because we could not handle all the customers. It wasn't physically possible in the size organization we had set up. My swipe files for our successful campaigns in several different industries. My done-for-you customizable emails, text, SMS messages, promos, successful ad campaigns, solo ads, media buying tips and tricks, Facebook shortcuts and lessons learned, and boy do I have some of those. My SEO, social media strategies, and much, much more. A lot of promos and contests. We've been doing a lot of things with contests as we're launching this new mobile app, and I am super excited to share those with you. So Customer Catcher Killer Communications allows you to create consistent customer engagement that yields a steady stream of customers coming to your door on autopilot. And I think most of us want that. I know I was seeking that for my businesses. So what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass of $4,997 value. The Customer Catcher software at $3,564 value. The Customer Catcher Killer Communications of $1,997 value. It's a total value of $10,558. So what else do you need? We'll talk about that in a minute. I love teaching people how to cook, but I hate selling. I've spent a few minutes editing the emails and text message series for attracting new customers and filled all my classes for this fall. I was struggling to keep the doors open before coming across Customer Catcher. I'm so glad I did. Now I'm thinking about adding another instructor, Tina Tully. Tina's actually added 3 instructors last time I talked to her, and she is really doing well with the Customer Catcher. She has a cooking school, not a traditional restaurant or bar, but she's using the Customer Catcher system to fill her classes. And you can too. You can use them to fill your business. So what more will help you? What do you need to make this a really easy decision to know that you need this as your marketing arm for your organization, for your bar, for your restaurant? Well, how about a ninja? Everybody loves a ninja, right? The Customer Catcher Ninja is all about experience, engagement, captivating your customers, and then keeping them coming back for more. Customer Catcher Ninja, again, you may be thinking, well, isn't it wrong to spy on the competition? And like I said before, guys, I think it's just about being smart and being a good business person. And the more information and the more you know about your area and about your customers, the better you can serve them. And the better you serve them, the faster and better your business grows and the more profitable you are. Again, the things the ninja shares, with great power comes great responsibility. You can use the things he shares, again, for both good and evil. So that is part of why I made you commit to only using your powers for good. The ninja knows things. He knows shortcuts and hacks to winning. Some ninja wisdom includes things like customers vote with their wallets. Whoever gives customers what they want most wins. Customer cash is business cash. A repeat customer is way cheaper than a new one. And I like to think we all know this, but we don't act on it. So often in business, we don't act on this. We act like all we're about is getting new customers, getting new customers, getting new customers. But a new customer actually costs you 7 to 10 times more money to acquire than a repeat customer. A repeat customer is much more profitable to you and your business and your bottom line. Customer is not always right, and I have got, and the ninja's got, some incredible stories about that. All customers are not created equal. You can pick and choose your customers, and your business is entirely up to you. That's just a couple of the ninja's tidbits of wisdom. So again, what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass of $4,997 value. The Customer Catcher software and trial, $3,564 value. Customer Catcher Killer Communications, a $1,997 value. Customer Catcher Ninja, a $1,997 value. It's a total value of $12,555. But wait, there's more. After Kevin's story, the ninja helped me put 107 people into our customer catcher in 45 days. We focused on the customer's experience and made sure it was amazing. Making sure people have a great time at our place keeps them coming back for more. That and the world's best desserts. Kevin Johnson. So, one last thing, one last bonus. What do you need? How about a competition eraser? Customer Catcher's competition eraser. Who else wants to make their competition disappear? Again, figuratively, not literally. Customer Catcher competition eraser is all about showing you that if you do exactly what we do to leave our competition in the dust and eating our dust, you can do it too. Competition erasers go after your best customers only. You give them exactly what they want. You value, acknowledge, pay attention to them. Make them part of your family, customers for life, and the game's over. There is no competition. It becomes irrelevant. Well, you might be thinking, won't my competition get mad? And I will share some incredible stories in the Customer Catcher training about, customer competition gone wild, we'll call it, because I do have a couple of interesting stories about that. But again, the truth of the matter is, the majority of people aren't really doing anything but focusing on running their business. They're minding their own business, and they just don't have time or energy to care about what's going on in your life and what you're doing. Really, very few people do. We're busy creatures, and we're creatures of habit, and we're more concerned about what is going on with us and our little world and life than we are about anything else that anybody is doing. And then you might be thinking, well, people are going to talk about me. We touched on this earlier. People are going to talk about you one way or the other. So why not control what they're talking about and be an example rather than a warning? My friends and family are going to think I'm doing something illegal if I get a ton of business. They'll think I'm, have drugs or hookers or something out of the back. Well, I like to think your family and friends know you better than that. And it's kind of like the weight loss example. When you're starting something new or a new endeavor, people tend to be worried for you. But once you prove that you're successful and you're kicking butt with it, people want to share in that success and bask in the glory along with you. You might be thinking, well, what if this or what if that? What if the rules change? What if, a new president gets elected? What if the ordinance in my town changes? What if the liquor laws change? Well, all of these things that we're doing with the Customer Catcher and the marketing arm for your organization on autopilot are making you, like I said, bulletproof and resilient and able to weather whatever the world dishes out. The competition eraser was just what I needed for my restaurant clients. The Customer Catcher has allowed us to reallocate people to higher return activities. Now one person manages customers for all our sites, 22 and growing. We used to have one person per location. Mike O'Brien has a restaurant consulting firm, and I believe they're up to 25 locations now, but he still has just the one marketing manager that is managing the Customer Catchers for all the locations, and they are ecstatic about the results and the simplification. They were able to reallocate 21 of those 22 people to different roles within their organization, and that has made them a lot more profitable, and everybody loves more profits. So what are you going to get? The 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, a $4,997 value. The Customer Catcher software and ClickFunnels 14-day free trial, should you choose to accept it, a $3,564 value. Customer Catcher Killer Communications, a $1,997 value. Customer Catcher Ninja, a $1,997 value. And the Customer Catcher Competition Eraser, a $1,997 value. That's a total value of $14,552. So if all this did was finally get you just 10 new customers a day. Now, we know I'm a nerd, so I did the math. And at the minimum, that would be an extra $39,000 extra income to you, just 10 customers a day. Would it be worth it? If all this did was help you to share your place with more people, the reason you started your business in the first place, your dream, would it be worth it? If all this did was give you the ability to cancel all the monthly tools you're currently using to glue together your customer handling activities, assuming you are doing something, would it be worth it? if all this did was let you get some of the things off your plate so you can actually enjoy the reason or reasons that you started your business in the first place, would it be worth it? So I had two choices when I was putting this offer together for you. My first option was I could go really, really cheap as possible, and try to sell as many as possible. There really wasn't much incentive for me to really stack on the value like I have with this offer. My second option, which requires a little bit higher investment on your part, but in exchange, I can devote more resources to guarantee your success and add all the bonus materials and all of the done-for-you things that will really guarantee your success. So what's getting customers to come to you on autopilot worth to you? What's it worth to have your own automated, dedicated marketing arm 24/7 handling customers for you? What's that worth to you? There's only 3 ways to make more money. I learned this from Jay Abraham, probably 15 years ago. That's get new customers, sell more to existing customers, increase the amount the customers spend, or the frequency at which they spend. How much would you pay to get all of this happening for your place automatically? Well, this one cost me $429,450, but it made me $797,981 in one day, and millions of dollars up until that day. So you can see why people are paying us $25K plus 10% of the profits, up to $250,000 to set the customer catcher up for them. You can see why it's a good deal at $5,000. And the price right now is $2,997 for the general public. But because you're here listening to this, and I really appreciate that you have been with us and stuck with us, I am offering a special, and you can get started now for just $997 today. Just go to www.customerscatcher.com/go. That's a one-time payment of $997 today. So what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, a $4,997 value. The Customer Catcher software, a $3,564 value. Customer Catcher Killer Communications, a $1,997 value. Customer Catcher Ninja, a $1,997 value. And the Customer Catcher Competition Eraser, a $1,997 value. Again, that's a total value of $14,552. Now, in addition to this, if you get started with us today, you will get lifetime access to our private Customer Catcher Facebook group and Facebook community. You get it free with your investment today. We usually charge between $69 and $79 a month for that, but if you join us today, you get access for life to that group. And that is a group where we try and we do and we experiment and we share the different things that we're testing and doing to make our systems better and better. So you can do it now or you can do nothing. You have 2 choices. Your first option is to do nothing, not take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. And your second option is to pony up this small investment today compared to all the value you'll get in return and just give it a shot. Now, I have a personal philosophy and belief that if I can't make you money, then I don't deserve and I don't want yours. So, of course, we've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can sign up today, and if you don't like it for any reason, and I don't care if it's 29 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from now, just let me know and we'll give you your money back, no questions asked. The real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out, which if it does even half of what I've claimed it does today on this training, will pay for itself as soon as you get your first customers coming to your place on autopilot. So again, what are you going to get? 6-week Customer Catcher Masterclass, $4,997 value. The Customer Catcher software, a $3,564 value. The Customer Catcher Killer Communications, a $1,997 value. The Customer Catcher Ninja, a $1,997 value. And the Customer Catcher Competition Eraser, a $1,997 value. It's a total value of $14,552. Also, for the first 17 people, we will be doing a live weekly Q&A. This will be a one-time only live weekly Q&A. We will record the calls and put them in the membership site for future reference. But if you want to get your specific personal questions answered, you want to be one of the first 17 bars or restaurant owners to sign up for this so that you can make sure that everything you need to know for your specific situation. If you're one of those places and you're one of those business owners that's saying, hey, my business is so different and so unique, I really need personalized attention, then you want to make sure that you're one of the first people to go ahead and take advantage of this offer so that you can be on these live calls. If for some reason, when the call is scheduled, you cannot participate live, if you're one of the first 17 people, you can submit your emails. We'll have a special email set up that you can send your questions to in advance, and I will make sure that on the calls I answer your specific question. Even if you can't be on the call live, you can listen to the replay and have your specific questions answered. But I will say, you want to be on those calls. You want to be one of those first 17 people, and you want to take advantage of this, because this offer is truly, truly worth thousands and thousands of dollars. And I didn't know how to put a price on it, so I just put priceless. But again, it will not happen again. I can guarantee for sure that I and my team will only do this series of calls live once, and then once they're recorded. And the reason for that is what we find is we start to see the same questions coming over and over again. And so after we do it and record them, we don't need to do it again every time, because even though we all believe our businesses are totally different, there's so many similarities that we can go ahead and record the calls once and they'll be good to go. But you want to be on there if you want to get your specific questions answered. So if you already have a successful restaurant or bar business, but you're looking for more customers, or if you're struggling, you really need this. If you don't have if you don't have a bar or restaurant yet, but you know that there's one or more in your future, you want to start it off on the right foot, and then you really need this too. Frankly, if you have any type of business or you want to have one, then this is for you. I've shown you some powerful things today. I've shown you that the only way for you to exponentially grow your restaurant or bar from a sales and profit standpoint is through handling customers on autopilot and having your own personal marketing arm working for you 24/7 on autopilot. And the only way to automate your customer handling and have your own marketing arm is through Customers Catcher. I love this graphic that shows the percent probability of success, and it goes from 0% when you're saying I won't, 10% to say I can't, all the way up to 100% when you say I did. And it's the same with this. Now, I have a super secret special offer only for the people that are listening to this webinar and take advantage by being fast actors. I mentioned a couple of times earlier that we are launching a mobile app called Hop. And we have a program that we're going to be providing to restaurant and bar owners that's called our Platinum Business Account. And for the first 30 people that join us today, you will become beta testers for the Hop mobile app restaurant end of the business software. And you will also get a Platinum Business Account free for 6 months. That's a $6,000 value. That's a minimum $6,000 value. And in addition to that, we will grandfather you in for as long as you decide to be a member with Hop at $100 a month. So that is a $900 a month saving for as long as you are a part of the mobile app program. Now, this is a super secret special only for the people that are on this call right now. And once these spots are filled, once they're gone, and they will not be repeated. This is in and of itself worth more than six times the value of the training that we're offering today. And again, it's a pretty super secret special that the only reason you're hearing about it is because I'm a member of the team that's creating this software app and this mobile app for. It's free to users, and then businesses will pay to use it and have updated services and things that they can provide customers through it, and data and access to a lot of information. And part of what we want is we want you to have an integral part in beta testing and tell us what you do want and don't want for features, but then you're also grandfathered in at $100 a month, which is an absolutely positively incredible value. Again, you can get started right now for just $997 today. I'm going to stay on the line. I will admit right now, I could not get my timer to work. They're not compatible any longer. So I will just stay on the line and answer questions in the comments box for about a half an hour. And then I have another commitment. But I really want to make sure that you get all of your questions answered. If you still have questions, if you have any questions whatsoever, and you know that you want to be one of the 17, and if you're one of the 17, you're also one of the 30 for the HOP opportunity. But if you want to be one of those 17, go ahead, order now, and then direct message me at support@customerscatcher.com, and I will ensure that you get your questions answered. And if for some reason you decide it's not for you after I answer your question, we'll absolutely positively refund your money. No problem, no questions asked. But again, you can get started just right now today for $997, a one-time payment, by going to www.customerscatchers.com/go. You can see on the screen what you get, and I am excited to work with you in your business. I'm getting a couple of comments about, do we have a payment program? And I'm going to say, no, we don't have a payment program at this price point. But if you are familiar or have heard of PayPal credit, it's only available in the United States, but you can actually, for 6 months, pay no payments and no interest for purchases over $99. And this is over $99, so you could go ahead and take advantage of that. You can actually get started right now for free, as long as you qualify for their credit program and pass the PayPal credit. And business, I'm sure, can probably do that. And so that is another opportunity. If you want to get started today, you can use this and put this to work for you for 6 full months for nothing down, no money down. That is exciting. Again, get started at www.customerscatchers.com/go. Thanks for joining us today. I really enjoyed our little time together. Don't delay. Start your Customers Catcher today, and I will see you on the inside. Thanks.